I arrived in Lumbini, the birthplace of the Buddha, after a 3-day bus ride through the mountains. It struck me immediately just how peaceful the place was, with its Buddha museum and its many Buddhist temples. I was here to do a 10-day Vipassana meditation retreat at Panditarama, which teaches the Burmese school of Vipassana. Having arrived 2 days early, I left some time to explore the temples and accidentally ran into a friend from the Kapan monastery. I was staying in this beautiful Korean monastery with my friend, and while I tell you about my Vipassana experiences, I'm just going to let this montage play of the Buddhist temples that I've explored beforehand. I first heard of Vipassana meditation as being the most intense meditation retreat. We meditated from 5 a.m. till 10 p.m. with intermittent sitting and walking meditation. While we were meditating, we had to focus on each thought as it arises and label it before then continuing on with our meditation on our breathing or our steps. It really gave me an insight into my mind and all of the ways it gets distracted. It was without a doubt one of the hardest things I've ever had to do. You're left alone with your mind, apart from a 10-minute interview with your teacher on most days where they make sure that you're basically not going insane. What makes it so intense is that it really brings out what you value in life, where your mind goes the most, what distractions you allow to take hold of your mind and take you away from your meditation. I noted in my diary just the amazing wildlife sightseeing I was doing. I've seen so many monkeys and birds in the very park of Panditarama, which was certainly distracting. One of the hardest things initially was the many mosquitoes. Since I arrived in December, it was high season for them, and it took all of my willpower to not only not swat them away and not kill them, which was forbidden in the park, but also to just label my annoyance and then move on. The structure of the day was that we would change between sitting meditation and walking meditation, and we would have breakfast and lunch, but no dinner. Most evenings we would also have a Dharma lecture where our teacher would talk to us about the scriptures, followed on by some chanting, which was really my chance to bond with the people that I've been meditating with for days, but never spoken to. It struck me just how privileged and grateful I was for being there, but then at the same time being annoyed at what I had chosen to do with my time and money. The mind is a tricky thing, and I really had to come to terms with my laziness and discipline to commit to something that I had been looking forward to for many weeks. I even remember crying on the first day over all the mosquitoes, but that was not going to get me down. So while we were meditating, we had to either focus on our diaphragm while we were breathing in and out, or on our steps while we lift each foot. Essentially, we were practicing mindfulness and keeping our mind in the moment, in the here and now, be it if it's pain in our legs, we note it, we label it, we come back to the moment. Be it a distraction or a fear or worrying about the future, we label it, we name it, we come back to the moment and our breath. I remember during my first interview, which was after 3 days of being there, I was so anxious and so nervous, and choosing my words so carefully and then later beating myself up over it. I realized that this was just an aggravated state of what I've always been in, how I always overanalyze my actions and my words and try to control what I can. I started noting down what distractions would come to me the most, and embarrassingly most of them were about my ego. I would start worrying about how people would see me in this place, outside of this place, how I would portray this journey on Instagram. Basically, I just realized I like to worry a lot. On day 9, during my last interview with my teacher, I remember telling him just how nervous I was about my upcoming journey to Everest Base Camp, and he just looked at me with very kind eyes and said, "Jasmine, worrying is optional." And these simple words really stayed with me. I realized that worrying is just the way that my mind tries to control the situation, instead of going out and actually changing it. I started making friends with my mind and saw the little intricacies of how it worked. It is unbelievable just how much there is to breathing and walking if you really put your mind to it. I learned eventually that even pain is optional and that it exists only in my mind. I spent my 10 days at Panditarama longingly staring at the gate from the inside, wondering what it would be like when I finally walked out on the other side of it. But as soon as I did, at 4 a.m. to catch the bus back to Kathmandu, I was just immensely sad to leave behind this place that had given me so much.